Welcome to bLU Talks.
Hello everyone, I'm very excited to introduce you to an incredible and special guest today, Mila Johansen. We are here at SFU in Vancouver, BC, Canada, and very excited to introduce Mila. Mila, I would love for you to share with everybody a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a writing, publishing, and public speaking coach, and I've learned all that from my grandmother, who was a very famous suffragette and speaker, and I've always wanted to be a writer since I was 8 years old.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I went to see Mary Poppins. It's a funny story. And I came home, and it dates myself. It was the first Mary Poppins. And I came home and I shut the door in my bedroom and I drew chalk drawings. They're probably ugly crayon drawings. I can't even draw stick people now. And I closed my eyes and I jumped into the paper onto it, thinking I would be transported to the world of merry-go-rounds and penguins. And I wasn't. And I tried like 7 or 8 times. But believe it or not, I still believe I can do that. And so then I thought, well, okay, if I can't get there that way, maybe I can write a book like Nancy Drew or the Oz books, which my mom read them all to me. Then I read them. Then I wrote 3 into musicals later. And so I started writing a book, and I wrote a page and a half, and I quit because I was 8.
Wow. So that's incredible. So let's take you back a little bit. So you channeled your inner Dick Van Dyke then with the chalk drawings.
Yes, I love that movie. I still love that movie.
Yes, it's an amazing movie. That's cool that was your inspiration. That's what literally lit the spark for you, right?
Mm-hmm. That's when I knew I wanted to be a writer all my life.
Amazing. So when you started writing at 8, now that is incredible, starting to write at 8 years old. What was it that you said you stopped when you started? What was it that made you stop?
Well, I didn't have the discipline, and I was 8 years old, and I was young. And then when I was 18, my mother tricked me into becoming a writer. She said, "You know, Mila, I've known you," and she's a teacher. "I know you've always wanted to be a writer, so why don't you write 1 sentence a day for a month?" And I went, I can write 1 sentence a day for a month. But I couldn't, because it's like potato chips, and you can't just write 1 sentence. So I wrote a page and a half, and by the end of the month, I was a writer, and I was off and running.
Wow.
I was 18.
18. That's incredible. So let's go to when you started your journey, officially when you were 18 years old. Where did you go from there?
Well, I started writing plays and musicals because I ran a big theater company in a big theater, and I would have 30 or 40 kids all the time in it, or sometimes I did adults, but there was never enough good parts in it. So I started writing them because I wanted it not to be that the maids are washing the steps to have 2 more parts. I wanted the maids washing the steps to push the story around. So I made very, very quality plays for 30 or 40 kids, and then I started selling them all over the world in my company called Classics with a Twist. So that was my first real sinking into writing, and I cheated because the kids were arriving, the play had to be done, and I had to do it. I don't think I would have been able to finish all those plays if I didn't have the upcoming production coming up.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, I wrote 22 plays and musicals that circled the globe, and Classics with a Twist.
That's an amazing accomplishment. Wow. A lot of people would be excited for writing 1, never mind 22. That's a huge feat. That's incredible. So I also, just to kind of go back in your journey a little bit to, what is the connection with you and writing and your family?
Well, my grandmother wrote books, and she spoke all over the United States with her books, and she wrote a book called Time to Speak Up, the first speaking book for women. And And she toured the whole United States speaking in front of 2,000 people and sold her book like hotcakes. And so she was always writing. And I knew her in her 80s and 90s when she was older, and she wore a lot of jewelry and hats and smelled funny because, you know, people didn't want to take showers back then. But I would follow her around while she spoke to all these famous people. She spoke with Gloria Steinem, Marla Thomas, and Jane Fonda all the time. I used to work for Jane Fonda after that. But anyway, that's another story. But so I would follow her around. I wanted to be just like her because, like, you can see me tearing up if I talk about my grandmother. I love her. And then she wrote a book. And years ago, I was the archivist of the family, and everybody sent me all the file cabinets, 3 big file cabinets. And one day I opened it up and found her book that I knew she had written but never been published, about her life and her memoir of growing up on a Colorado cattle ranch, coming to DC to become the first woman lobbyist, teaching Eleanor Roosevelt public speaking, all these things. Anyway, it's in the book, From Cowgirl to Congress. But she inspired me, and she was so amazing, and I was always with her. She half raised me because my mother was AWOL. My mother's a teacher, but she was sick. And so my grandmother took me under her wing, and we grew up poor. I didn't have a lot of food, and she would feed me. That's another thing.
That's beautiful. That's incredibly touching. So it literally is, writing is in your DNA.
I think it is. I think in the speaking, and you know how you're supposed to be a little bit more like your grandmother than your mother. Thank God that's my story.
I completely relate, actually.
Oh, you do?
Same
thing. You're like your grandmother?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So with both writing and speaking, so if somebody is watching this right now and they say to themselves, how can I work with Mila? What can Mila do for me? What would you share with them right now?
Well, I just helped 8 people publish their books in the last 6 weeks. I could probably say that almost any time because I'm doing it full time. And as soon as people hear me talk, because I speak a lot, I speak 1 to 4 times a week, and I teach people how to do that too. And they see I'm the expert and they want to sign up with me. I really have no problem getting clients because I really am the expert in my field, and I wrote a book to go with it. So I always tell people, write your little expert book, hand it out as a flag, a card, sell from it, sell it on Amazon. And that's what I do. I teach people to do that, and I help people with any genre. It doesn't matter. I've done novels, sci-fi, memoir, business books, children's books. It's really the same process on KDP. It's so easy to self-publish on KDP now. If you were going to go traditional, it would take 2 years to find a agent and 2 more years and to find a publisher, and maybe 2 years to publish. You could be way out there, but you could write a short book in a day or 2 about something you know, work on it, and get it published in a week or 2. You don't have to wait with Amazon, and they made it so easy. It's like, click this, click this, click this. Voila, you are published.
That's amazing. Amazing. Because as you know, there's a lot of people in the world that want to write, but they don't know where to go, how to do it. So this would be amazing that they could connect with you. And how would you help a person? So somebody's watching this right now and they're like, yes, this is it. I've been wanting to write my book.
Well, they go to my website to look at my programs, milajohansen.com. And what I do is I do a 3-month program to start with people. And what we meet once a week for 3 months. And wherever they're at in the process, if they want to accelerate it, then we meet more. And then some people sign up for the whole year. And then I take them through the process, wherever they are. Are they writing? Is it finished? And now we want to join KDP and start publishing. And then I know all these little layers that can get their book discovered. And always their book becomes a bestseller with me. Always, every time, because I know all the secrets to that. And here's the big deal. Everybody who's doing book marketing and coaching are going to tell you to do your ebook first. Don't do that. Publish your paperback first, not with the hardcover because they'll compete for bestseller, but because my main reason is I want my book in people's hands. Otherwise, they'll just buy the ebook and they'll never read it. And so then also that's when you make your first initial money to pay back for the editing and the book coach and whatever else you needed. So there's a lot to it, and I can let everybody's hand through all the clicks and all the bullets and everything to do. It's very fun. It's like a puzzle. So treat it like it's fun.
I love it. And just like you said, too, in order for people to to have the assistants go through the steps, the best way would actually be for them to connect with you and work with you so that they know how to do that, right?
Sure, they could take tutorials on YouTube, and there's tutorials on KDP, but in the end, most people go, no, 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 I want you to hold my hand through it, you know. And so, and I speak about it all the time, and I tell people how easy it is. But then there are these layers that help you advertise if you do it from the beginning, you know, categories and keywords, and maybe writing a forward. Here's a big secret: get someone famous or semi-famous, or with a lot of books to write your forward, because then you are connected to all of their books. And I had someone who had 20 books write my forward for my little book, and he had 26 books. So then I was connected with him, and I got a lot of notice.
That's brilliant. That's an amazing tip and a really good recommendation. I'm sure a lot of people have not ever heard that before. So
there's so much people haven't heard of. Do you know that you make 1/3 a penny for every page read on the ebook? I have a colleague that makes most of his money off of the ebook because he has a series. He has a series of murder mysteries. I can't read them because they're too gory for me. I'm kind of sensitive. But he has a series of the books, and he makes $300 to $500 or more a month just from people reading the ebooks for 1/3 a penny. And most people don't know that. Most people won't tell you that.
No. Yeah, these are some juicy tips and recommendations here that everybody's receiving. This is great. So what is your viewpoint? How do you feel about audiobooks?
Okay. I can totally help you get your audiobooks made for free instead of that $2,000, $5,000 thing. Because, see, KDP is connected to your Prime account. Here's your Prime account, separate website from KDP. KDP stands for Kindle Direct Publishing. So they're actually two different websites, but they are the same password. ACX is a sister company that works with KDP to do the audiobooks, same password. But you have to have an ebook to make that. But then what you do is you audition readers. I've gotten some real professional ones. I helped one man in my community. He wrote 20 books. He's getting them all done on audiobooks for free. It does not have to cost money. Do not believe people on that. And then I have a really great reader for my Cinderella monologues. She's doing all three, and she's doing it for royalty share. So you get 40% for an audiobook, you give them 20%, you get 20%, but you don't have to do all that work, and they do all the editing, and it's good to get it done once you find a voice that fits your book. And I got 20 auditions for one book. So there's a lot of little tricks and fun things to do, and there's a lot of things you don't need to pay for, and I like to really gear people towards that.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So what if somebody's watching or listening right now and they say to themselves, well, Mila, that's well and good, but I can't get motivated just to write. I have these ideas in my head, but getting it on paper or getting it on the computer, that's a whole other story. What would you recommend to that person?
Well, the word on the street right now is 20 minutes a day is all we ask. And I say even 5 minutes, because Toni Morrison, the famous novelist, said she only had 15 minutes a day when she started due to work and children. And then she wrote all these novels. So you don't have to sit there for 2 hours anymore. 5 minutes would add up to a book. But here's the secret. Just start. Fingers on keyboard, pen in hand. Don't wait to start. And why wait? If you're going to write a book, when are you going to write that book? Do it today, right now. Start.
Oh, yes, exactly. Well, that was amazing. And Mila, you also mentioned how you helped people. How many people did you just help in the last 6 weeks?
6 weeks. I think 6 people in the last 8 weeks.
Wow.
We just published 2 books this week. Yeah, it's fun.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what would you recommend? What sort of final thoughts and message would you like to share with everybody right now?
Everybody has a book in them, probably more than one. The problem is if you work with me, a lot of people keep signing up because they get the next book and the next book. But the more books you have on Amazon, the more it builds your algorithms, the more your discoverability. And so don't wait. Don't wait for anyone. Don't wait for a class. Don't wait. Just start writing your book. Barbara Kingsolver, the famous novelist, says, give yourself permission to write a bad book and then work on it until it's a good book. And what she means is blather it down. Do not hide behind editing or research. Get all that new writing. It will be better than you think. And then you get an editor. We have editors. So start today. Write your book now.
Amazing, Mila. So just before we close today, you mentioned it a little bit, but how can people reach out and connect with you?
Okay, go to milajohansen.com and you can go down below and sign up to meet with me, or also you can see my programs, and you click into my programs and they'll take you in, and there's a lot of explanation of everything I offer. I offer all kinds of classes: how to do audiobooks, work with me for 3 months. Oh, my signature class is write your short book in a day. And a lot of people, if they go by my parameters, they do write that short book in a day, and then they work on it for a week and get it published in 2 or 3 weeks. So write that short book, 36 pages. That won't daunt you. Anybody can do that, okay? Start with your 36-page book and then use it for the outline for your longer book.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Mila. It was great to connect with you and have this opportunity to speak with you today. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining and watching today.